You're not alone. If you need someone to talk to today, please contact Crisis Services Canada by either calling them at 1-833-456-4566 all hours of the day, or you can text them at 45645 at 4 p.m. to 12 a.m. Eastern Time. Remember, you're not alone, and Crisis Services Canada is here to help. Welcome to another edition of MFHL Season Coverage on Amateur Sports TV. I'm your host, Graeme Forsyth. Today's episode is brought to you by Pure Nata, Fabricland Winkler, Tovey Hockey, and Case Financial Group. Today is the Week 12 edition of MFHL Season Coverage here on the network. It's the return of the series, the first episode of 2021 after having a week off. The final week in 2020 took that off, but I'm back here to bring you guys an interview with two players from the Westman Wildcats today. They're two senior forwards in number 9, Shaylee Scraba, and number 14, Krissy Rink. But before I get to introducing those two players in today's episode, I just want to give an update about where the MFHL is right now on return to play. They gave us an update on their Twitter at MFHL U18 AAA on Tuesday, January 5th, and it gives some clarification about what's going to be happening going forward with the MFHL and the return to play process. The MFHL is committed to return to play. This will be done at the proper time when provincial and Hockey Manitoba guidelines/regulations allow for it. There has been no consideration to cancel our season. We want our players to return to the ice in a safe situation. We are planning for it. So, by the looks of this tweet, some great news knowing that there has been no consideration up until this point for the MFHL to cancel the season in its entirety. If you guys want to stay up to date with when these updates are coming out on the MFHL, be sure to visit the MFHL's website at www.mfhlu18aaa.com. You can also check back to their Twitter for updates on when the league returns to play, or you can simply just check us out on Amateur Sports TV on Twitter and Facebook, also on our Instagram at amateursports.tv, and also you can just simply tune into these episodes of MFHL Season Coverage here on the network, as we'll be covering everything to do with return to play when these updates do happen. And here's a look at the MFHL 2020-2021 regular season standings provided by Pure and Nata. I know that nothing has changed since October, but I think it's always nice to give you guys a refresher about where these teams sit in the standings. Now, I want to address something that I said back in week 6 of MFHL season coverage. Near the start of that episode, I ended up saying that the Winnipeg Avros had their best season in franchise history back in 2017-18 instead of back in 2019-2020. That was wrong. The Avros actually did have their best season back in 2019-2020 when you take a look at the total games that they played. They put up 46 wins in total, so those wins came from exhibition regular season tournament games and playoff games. They had 22 regular season wins that year, and they ended up making it all the way to the finals last year, where they set up a matchup with their crosstown rivals, the Winnipeg Ice, and that series didn't end up happening due to COVID-19 canceling the remainder of the season. Now, based on the 2017-18 season, the Winnipeg Avros did have their most wins in a regular season in franchise history with 26, but they only won 33 games in total. They ended up losing to the eventual league champions in the Eastman Selects that season in the semifinals. I apologize. Plain and simple, I got that information wrong. It's on me. It's not going to happen again. I assure you guys that I will give you the cold, hard facts, the correct facts, moving forward. And Shaylee Scraba and Krissy Rink have been on the Westman Wildcats for a number of years now. For Krissy, she's in her third year with the team this season, and for Shaylee, she's actually in her fourth. She ended up moving up a year early into the midget level back in 2017-18. Both of them wearing letters this year. They both wear an A. This is Shaylee's second season wearing an A, and it's Krissy's first season wearing an A with the Wildcats. And both of these players committed to the university level back in December. Krissy committed to Minot University, and Shaylee committed to the University of Regina, both starting their college careers next season, or their university playing careers next season in the fall of 2021. So sit back, enjoy the show today, grab a cup of joe or whatever you guys bring to enjoy these shows with you. I'm going to be sitting down with Krissy Rink and Shaylee Scraba on this Week 12 edition of MFHL Season Coverage on Coffee with Graeme here on Amateur Sports TV. Here with two Westman Wildcats Senior forwards, Krissy Rink, number 14, and number 9, Shaylee Scraba, both wearing letters this year for their team. Of course, like every other team, they're on pause right now, so they're not able to continue the season that they've been having so far this season. Of course, the team is 3-2. They're 4th place in the MFHL this season, and on December 23rd, Krissy committed to Minot University, and for Shaylee on December 29th, she committed to the University of Regina, both continuing to play their hockey careers at that next level next season come fall of 2021, hopefully when we have normal hockey settings back with fans in the stands, all that good stuff. But how are you two doing on this lovely Wednesday evening? I know that you guys just got done doing a team workout earlier, just about an hour and a half ago. This interview, of course, going out today at 10:30, as you guys have seen it all over the Amateur Sports TV network. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me, Krissy and Shaylee. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Awesome. So we're gonna start off with just talking about some university commitments here, starting with the both of you guys. But starting with Shaylee first off. Shaylee, you committed to the University of Regina, as mentioned before. Just why did you choose Regina as that next place to continue playing hockey?
They have a really great coach, and I really enjoyed talking to her. We've had lots of conversations lately, and they have a great hockey program and really good schooling as well, so it just seemed like a good fit for me.
Yeah, and of course you're going to be playing under a coach in Sarah Hodges, who's been around for quite a bit now, and just what she had to say about you and the commitment, the announcement that was made on MFHLU18.com or whatever the website is of the league. It said that she said that your skill set is going to give her, which is you, the ability in many areas on our team, the skill set along with her smarts and versatility will make her a pleasure to coach. So just hearing that from a coach that you're going to be playing under for the next few years, the foreseeable future here when you get to university hockey, how does that feel to hear that from this coach that's going to be coaching you?
Yeah, it's really an honor to have her say those things about me and think that highly of me. It's really awesome.
And moving on to you, Krissy, of course, signing with Minot for the 2021 season, signing your commitment there. Why, for you, did you choose to go play your hockey, starting next year? Why did you decide to take your talents to Minot?
It's close to home, and there's lots of like old Wildcats on that team, so I'd fit in better with all of them. And I hear that the hockey's really good down there from all of them, and they talk so much about how good it is. So.
Yeah, that's great. And it seems like not only you, but Shaylee are excited to continue playing your playing careers at this next level at your respective universities that you'll be going to. Just going to this quote from head coach Miner. He said that they're excited to have you coming in. You bring such a dynamic and hard work and skill set to your game. Your speed is evident just every time you step on the ice, and you're going to make that quick adjustment at that next level, just paraphrasing Minor here. But he also said that your motivation, work ethic, character, that stuff is fantastic, and says you'll have no problem fitting into the culture. So just like I asked Shaylee, how does that make you feel to hear this from a head coach that you're going to be playing under for the next few years or the foreseeable future here in Minot University?
it feels great that he said that about me and stuff, and that he trusts that I'll do good. So yeah.
And for you two, you guys got an MFHL championship under your belt. Of course, you, Krissy, you ended up winning gold at provincials with the Surrey Elks. Just for you guys, there must have been other offers on the table, I'm assuming, but why did you decide to choose these places over these other places that you might have been offered?
Yeah, I listened to other coaches before that, but yeah, Regina just really stuck out to me the whole time, and I just thought it was a really good fit for me. So
yeah, I thought Minot it was close to home, so that was really good, and they got a good program down there for corporate fitness, so I thought it was a good fit.
Yeah, and you, Krissy, planning to take corporate fitness as your major there to study, and hopefully you getting a degree by the end of things. But what exactly interested you about uh, the corporate business? Sorry, the corporate fitness business level.
Well, I like to stay active and stuff, and you can become a trainer out of it. So that really is something that I want to do.
Nice. And for you, Shaylee, you decided to pursue kinesiology. So why did that interest you exactly?
yeah, I've always enjoyed learning about the human body. It's always kind of intrigued me, and you can do lots with it afterwards. And I just wanted to keep my options open, and thought I'd really enjoy taking it. So.
Now, moving into just what are you guys excited about just going out and experiencing the university lifestyle just outside of hockey? What excites you the most about just, being on your own away from family and experiencing this new type of lifestyle?
I'm excited I'm excited to meet new people and see a new city and stuff because I've been to Minot, but I don't really know it that well. So
Yeah, same as Krissy. Excited to meet new people, have a bit of a different lifestyle, see new places a bit.
And for you guys just moving onto the ice, just looking at what you guys have done with Westman, of course, you guys have showcased many skills throughout the years playing here. Of course, both of you guys wearing letters this season, both of you guys wearing the A. Just what do you guys feel is going to be the needed adjustments when you get to that university level? Because it's going to be a bit faster, a bit more physical out there than you guys are playing at the level you are already. But just talk about some of the adjustments that you guys are looking to make to your game when you come into the university hockey level.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have to adapt. I think our league has prepped us pretty well, but it's obviously going to be a lot faster and stronger, and we're just going to have to adapt and learn how to play with it.
yeah, we'll definitely have to think faster and smarter. So it'll be
Yeah, and for you, Shaylee, you're going to be joining this team with some familiar faces. One player that you've played against as well. That player being Trinity Grove, who announced her commitment, earlier this year, or earlier last year. Sorry, it's 2021 now. Feels like it's still 2020 with all this stuff going on. But yeah, just you get to play with Trinity. You get to play with your goaltender, Natalie Williamson, and Charlie Lindbergh as well. So just how excited are you to be able to play with those players at the next level?
Yeah, I'm really excited. Have some familiar faces there, and they're all wonderful players, so that's going to be really fun. Really looking forward to it.
Right on. And yeah, it's definitely going to make that transition easier for sure. You're stepping into both of you guys dipping your toes into new waters here come the fall of 2021. So it's going to be exciting to see where your careers take you guys at that next level. We're going to go to our first commercial break here in the show. Of course, today's episode, one of our sponsors is Pure Innata, of course, natural beauty made in Canada. We're going to show you guys a commercial of them here in just a moment. I'll be back with Krissy Rink and Shaylee Scraba, both assistant captains of this year's Westman Wildcats team. We're going to continue talking to both of them about just where they played before making it on the midget Wildcats team. So stick with me, Graeme Forsyth, here with Krissy Rink and Shaylee Scraba on this week's edition of MFHL Season Coverage. Back here on Amateur Sports TV with Krissy Rink and Shaylee Scraba, of course, both these players in their senior season this season with the Westman Wildcats, both of them wearing letters as well. And we're going to get into their time playing with the Wildcats for their time playing there in just a bit in this interview. But first, I'm going to talk to them about just the places they played before making it on this Westman Wildcats team. So just starting off with you, Shaylee, you played with the Surrey Elks boys team for mostly growing up when you grew up playing. You had a chance to play with the girls team as well a bit, but just take me back to, I know it's a while ago now, but take me back to that time when you played boys hockey with Surrey.
Yeah, it was great. I actually really enjoyed playing with the boys. We had a great team and a great group, and yeah, it was really fun for me.
Nice. And you say you enjoyed that aspect of things playing with the boys.
Yeah, they were all really good. We're all good friends, and it was really fun for me.
And I know it's a while ago now playing there, but you played there for most of your life before making that switch to playing strictly girls hockey. What would you say developed in your game while playing there?
Yeah, I definitely developed my hands a little bit more. My speed, everybody's pretty fast, so that was two key aspects, I think.
Nice. And just moving on to you, Krissy, the places that you played, you've had a chance to play with Melita Bisons. You played for Surrey as well. You've played with the Bantam Westman Wildcats. You've played in many places before you played with the Westman Wildcats at that U18 level. But just could you take us back to that time when you played with Melita?
Yeah, that was like my Adam and Pee Wee ages, and I played boys a little bit and a little bit of girls, and I always had to play up because there was never girls my age to play. So
Nice. And you, I had a conversation with both of you before this interview started, and you guys said that you guys actually had a chance to play with each other at that Adam level for a bit. So just how cool is it now getting to, and you guys also played at the Bantam level together, but just this journey you guys have been on in these last number of years with the Wildcats, getting to know that you played with each other back then. How cool is it now knowing that you guys are going to end your minor playing career playing on the same team together?
Yeah, it's pretty cool, getting to see each other grow as players and people, and getting to spend this much time together is pretty awesome.
yeah, it is pretty awesome.
That's great. And I'm guessing that throughout the years, the bond has grown that much stronger.
Yeah, I hope so, me too.
Great. So just getting back to you, Shaylee, just about you're making that switch to playing with boys for most of your life before playing at that all girls level with an all girls team. Just what did you find was kind of a change in the game when you ended up playing with all girls?
Yeah, the game is a little bit different, definitely, but I still really enjoyed playing both, and it was a pretty tough transition for me. I really enjoyed playing with the boys, but I knew it was time to switch, and ended up being really fun, and yeah.
And so you guys had a chance to play Bantam together. Did you guys, which Bantam teams did you guys play on together?
We played the Bantam Westman Wildcats together for 1 year.
Nice. So what was that like in that season for both of you guys playing on that team? Just talk about the environment of that team and just what made that team so fun to play on.
Yeah,
You got to
it was
meet some new
fun.
girls. Yeah.
It was just kind of a goofy group, and yeah.
Nice. So a goofy group. You guys definitely kept it pretty relaxed out there, I'm guessing. But were there times when you guys got serious out there and really came to play and just put, I guess, your work boots on, if we're gonna put it that way?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Sorry. We'd be goofy before games, but like every time you started to like lace up your skates, we would always start getting focused and be ready for the game.
Nice, nice. So a bit of miscommunication between you guys right now, obviously. You know, you guys have been away from each other in person for quite a while now, so it's understandable why there's some miscommunication, but we'll definitely get those things sorted out as this interview goes along. But yeah, just for you, Shaylee, you had a chance to play on the Westman Wildcats Bantam team as well as the Westman Falcons. And yeah, you also had a chance to play on the Westman Falcons and the Westman Wildcats Bantam team with her, Krissy. But what for you guys playing on two teams in the same year, just what kind of adjustment was that like, and how did you guys feel you handled it throughout the course of the season then?
Yeah, it was pretty busy, but the two teams corresponded really well with each other. Most of the girls played on both, so it wasn't too bad, but definitely busy schedule like we were used to.
Yeah, it was a really busy schedule, but it was fun to have both teams to play for. So
Sweet, sweet. And just what did you guys find were the benefits of playing on two teams?
You had kind of two different coaching staff, so you know you learn different things from each coach, and that really is helpful.
and you got to have a bunch of different friends because not all the teams were the same. So it's good.
Yeah, always that benefit of just forming those friendships and really, yeah, like Shaylee said, just being able to learn from coaches, different coaches, and just their different philosophies. And for sure that's definitely gonna be key for development early on for a player when they're able to kind of, process those things and really generate it on the ice, makes you guys more versatile players for sure. But yeah, moving into that season that you guys, I guess that Krissy had with Surrey, um, winning the provincial gold medal in that season, um, back in 2018. And you guys ended up going 4-0 in provincials. You ended up scoring 4 goals in those 4 games. And just to be able to win provincials in that season, just take me back to just the journey you guys went on to get into that.
We worked really hard throughout the season and we're pushing and stuff, and our team was really good and we worked good together, and it was really good to win that gold medal because it was my first gold medal, but everyone else's already had one already before. But yeah, we worked really hard and it paid off.
And for you personally, just how special was that knowing that this was your first ever gold medal win?
It was really special, and I cherish that moment with all those girls because we worked really hard for it.
when you look back at your years in Surrey, just of course the memories made, the championship won in that year of 2018. Just what are the things that you're going to remember the most about playing with that organization?
I'm gonna remember all those girls and the fun that we had and the coaching staff and how good they were to us. And yeah.
And we're going to move a bit beyond the time that you guys didn't play on the Westman Wildcats. I'm actually going to ask Shaylee these next few questions, or these next line of questions specifically. Just you had a chance to represent Team Manitoba at the 2019 National Women's Under-18 Championships, and you were one of 6 03s to make that team. You were a 16-year-old at the time, but what was that like finding out that you were going to have a chance to represent your province at that stage?
It was super exciting. I wasn't really expecting it. It was a great surprise, and yeah, it was a big honor.
And you had a chance to play alongside teammates and Jory Hanson-Young and Natalie Williamson in that tournament. And just being able to play in a tournament like that with girls that you're familiar with, just how special did it make it?
It was terrific. It was nice to have them there and share that experience because it really was really fun to be there, and it was a great tournament to be in.
And you had a chance to play alongside the best players at Manitoba for that level at that time. Just getting to know these girls, getting to play with them, obviously made you a better player playing with players that are this good. But just what was it like getting to bond with these girls?
Yeah, it was really fun, and we got to bond on and off the ice. Have lots of activities off the ice and lots of practicing, and it was really good.
And you also had a chance to represent Manitoba at the U16 level. We're not going to get into that, but just how did that prior experience really help you, not only in the tryout process, but throughout the whole experience of playing on this team and just all the things you guys did?
It really helped. Every time you go to a tryout and each weekend, you learn something new, which you take with you, which ultimately just makes you a better player. So it's really fortunate to have those.
And you guys didn't finish where you guys wanted to, of course. Finishing 4th place in Group B. You guys ended up losing that 7th place game to Team Atlantic, and you put up no points in the tournament. But definitely one thing that you could take away from it was just the experience of just learning about playing against the top players from around the country at this level and just playing with all the talent that you guys had, learning from these coaches. But is there one learning experience that you took away from the whole tournament?
I can't think of just one, honestly. Like every weekend, I learn something new and then just try to apply it to my game, honestly.
And yeah, just for you to be able to have a chance to represent Manitoba at not only the U16 level, but the U18 level as well. And even though you guys didn't have the results that you wanted, definitely a great learning experience for you in 2019 at that point in your hockey career. And just moving into just back to Krissy, you've won awards in your career. You ended up, of course, winning most sportsmanlike for Surrey minor hockey in 2017-18. You won Athlete of the Year in 2017 in grade 8 at your school. And just for you to be able to win that most sportsmanlike player for your the minor hockey association that you played in, just what was that like? How excited were you when you heard the news that you won it, or just the feeling when you did win it?
I was really excited and just glad that I was a good sportsman, like person to all the teammates and everyone. So yeah.
Yeah, and just moving into your Athlete of the Year award, pretty special achievement and to win Athlete of the Year. Yeah, and you've played many sports throughout your life, not only hockey but other sports like volleyball and badminton, stuff like that. Just what do you think that those things do, like playing volleyball and playing badminton, really just help build you as an athlete overall?
They help us like get more skill sets, and so you're not just focusing on only one skill sets, you got a bunch of them. Like coordination for volleyball, that's a really good one, so it just helps with every sport.
Nice. Yeah. And definitely playing more than one sport is definitely going to be beneficial for an athlete's development in all areas of their game and in any sport for sure. And for for you, Shaylee, you had a chance to also win most sportsmanlike player award and the most hardest working player award as well at one point in your career. Just what was it like getting rewarded for all the work you put into your seasons then and just getting awarded for your sportsmanlike play?
Yeah, it was definitely nice, you know. It's really important to have that sportsmanship. It's not just about the skill on ice, it's also about the person you are. And knowing that all my hard work did get noticed was really nice as well.
Sweet, sweet. Right on, right on. Well, we're gonna move into your guys's careers with the Westman Wildcats midget team in just a moment here. We're going to go to our second commercial break in the show. We're going to hear from our other official sponsor of everything female hockey here on the network, Fabric Land Winkler. I'll be right back with Krissy Rink and Shaylee Scraba, two senior forwards for the Westman Wildcats this season here on MFHL Season Coverage on ASTV. Graeme Forsyth back on the network with Krissy Rink and Shaylee Scraba. Shaylee wears number 9. Krissy wears number 14. Both of them wearing letters this year. We're going to talk about their season that they've been having this year later on in the show. We're going to start by just going back to the very start of their careers with Westman, starting off with you, Shaylee. You ended up playing your rookie season 2017-18, and that's when you started playing midget hockey in your last year of Bantam. So why did you think you were able to make the jump in that season to playing at that next age level?
I guess the coach thought I could handle it and had a lot of faith in him and was really excited to make that jump.
And did you personally feel like you could make that jump, or was it more of the just the belief that Guy Williams put in you?
Yeah, he really definitely did help. I was a little bit nervous at the start for sure, but having his support was really good.
And what type of a player would you say you were coming in? Because in that first season, you put up 12 points in 28 games played. Pretty impressive for a player of your age back then, especially in your rookie season. But what made you the type of player you were then?
Well, I had really great line mates. They were always setting me up, so that wasn't all on me. Um, but yeah, I was just really excited to be there. I tried to work hard all the time, and I guess that helped.
And just being so young at the age you were back then, playing with girls that were older than you, just how do you feel like you fit into that culture that Westman had?
It definitely made me mature a little bit faster in that time frame, but um, the older girls were all really good, and they treated the rookies really well and helped us through it. So.
And could you speak about the line that you played on? Because you mentioned before how it was beneficial for you to play on that line with those girls, with them setting you up and stuff like that.
Yeah, I got to play with Paige Hubbard a lot, and she was great to play with, awesome, and lots of the other older girls like Ali O'Hara, Cameron Klein, and yeah.
Nice. And just for you've been an assistant captain on this team for it's your second year as an assistant. Just being able to learn from Paige, who was a captain on this team at one point, just what was it like just learning from her not only on the ice but off the ice in that first season?
Yeah, she was really, really great off the ice, and I got to take some of those qualities she had and try to use them now. And I've had a couple other good captains that they were all really, really good to the rookies and good to us. So I got to take some of their qualities as well and try to use them now.
And what do you find was the hardest thing to get used to in that first year of that AAA U18 game?
Definitely the speed was a lot faster than I was used to. They were a lot bigger and stronger, so I had to kind of try to stand my ground a little bit, but got used to it.
You guys ended up making it to the semifinals, losing to Pembina Valley in, 4 games. You had 6 games played in that playoffs. You had 0 points, weren't able to get on the score sheet. But just for you, to be able to experience playoff hockey for the very first time, just take me through what that experience was like.
Yeah, playoff hockey, it was a bit of a shock for me how different it was than regular season. It's a lot more intense, just a lot faster, and each player wanted to win so bad on both teams that you really had to work hard to score and to win. So it was a good experience for me to have.
And we're actually going to take another commercial break here quick right away. I wasn't able to hear Shaylee's answer. Everyone else could hear, but there's always this little glitch that happens once in a while when I'm not able to hear my guests. Everyone else can hear them, but that's going to be a problem for me because I can't really hear what they're saying. So I'm going to be right back here with Shaylee Scraba and Krissy Rink in just a moment here. We're going to throw it to commercial break here on this edition of MFHL Season Coverage on Coffee with Graeme on Amateur Sports TV. Back here on MFHL Season Coverage, we had some technical difficulties on my end. We figured it out. I can hear them both now. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. But yeah, Shaylee Scraba and Krissy Rink joining me on this Wednesday evening. Of course, this episode going out today all over Amateur Sports TV, all over the network here. And I was just talking to Shaylee specifically about just her first season, her rookie year back in 2017-18 with the Westman Wildcats. And we're talking about playoffs, and we finished by talking about her just experience of playing playoff hockey for the very first time, and just for you to be able to come out in this first playoff run, not be able to put any points up. I'm sure it was frustrating, but just overall, what would you say that you learned the most from that first playoff run that you guys went through?
I learned the environment of playoff hockey and kind of what it took to produce in that setting and just how hard you have to work to do it.
And just reflecting on that first season, you learned a lot. You learned that the game was faster. Of course, you learned what it takes to really put up in the playoffs, like you said. But could you talk about just what you reflected on after the series lost and just when you had a bit of time to gather your thoughts and reflect on the season that you did have?
I was pretty sad that the season was over. I had really enjoyed playing with that group of girls and wanted it to continue, but um, I determined that I was gonna work out harder and train for the next season because I did want to win and play better.
Yeah, and you guys definitely achieved that by winning the first championship in Western Wildcats MFHL history for your respective franchise. But for you, Krissy, you came into that season as a rookie, reunited with Shaylee since the last time that you guys played with each other. And you were coming off winning a championship yourself, and you come into this team, a new environment for you. Just what was it like just in that first year making that team?
It was really exciting, and I was so honored to be a part of that team. And we worked really hard, and everyone was so good to the rookies, and it was good.
And like mentioned before, you're a player that probably the most thing that's evident from everybody that's talked about you is your speed. And of course, you're a hardworking player. You're a player that, seems like you bring good energy to the room. Just what do you think are the things that you brought to that Westman Wildcats team? Of course, you had that championship experience coming in from the season prior, but in your opinion, what do you think, you know, made you able to bring what you brought to the table in that season?
Well, I think I did bring speed, but I think that my teammates really helped me out that season to make our line good. Like I was on a line with Shaylee and Allie O'Hara, and we worked really good together, and it just helped us.
Nice, nice. And yeah, being able to play on a line like that with Allie and Shaylee, being able to, for you, put up 11 goals, 6 points, 11 goals, 6 assists, 17 points, and 27 games played that season. You were third in goals on the team and tied fourth for points in that team. Just what do you think, other than playing on a great line like you did with Shaylee and Allie, really allowed you to do the things that you did out there?
Well, I had a lot of help from them, and they showed me that you need to keep your head up and stuff. So from learning that, I thought I made better plays and adapted to the faster play.
And you'd say throughout the year that adapting to those things, learning from your line mates, and just learning from your team in general really let you, improve as a player throughout that season.
Yeah, it did.
Moving back to you, Shaylee, you ended up having a heck of a season in your second year. You ended up putting up 9 goals, 13 assists, and 22 uh, 9 goals, 13 assists, 22 points that season. You end up finishing fourth in goals on the team. You ended up being tied third in assists, third in points as well. Just being able to play on a line with Krissy and Allie definitely helped, but there's always going to be things that you did maybe in the off season to improve your game to get to the point where you were at in that season. What was the biggest focus in your off season for you to be able to have the year that you did have in that season?
Yeah, I trained hard after losing the year before. I wanted to get bigger and stronger and be able to play up to that next level.
And yeah, just what would you say were the areas in your game that made the biggest jump in that year?
Probably my speed maybe, and again, bigger and stronger. I really wanted to be able to stand my ground and not be falling all over the place.
And could you dive into the things that you did specifically to work on those things in the off season?
Lots of lifting weights.
Nice. That's it. Just lifting weights.
Yeah,
Awesome. Keeping
add
it,
some cardio, but yeah.
yeah, keeping it simple like that. And obviously it worked for you to have the season that you did have. Just moving into the playoffs for you guys. Of course, Shaylee experienced it the season before you did, Krissy, but could you talk about the experience of playing at that playoff hockey level, at the level of playing at the playoffs?
It's a lot different because all teams want to win. So if even though you beat one team all the time, it could be different because they're trying a little harder. So it was a different pace, and it was a good experience.
And for you, Shaylee, just being able to come in, having a year under your belt, not having the success that you wanted personally on the stat sheet the season before, you guys not getting the results that you wanted. Did you feel that your experience that you had personally in your first year really benefited the team in that way?
Yeah, there was quite a few of us that had that prior experience, and I think we all wanted to do better, and we just worked harder like we wanted, and it was worked out for us.
Yeah, and you guys put in a full team effort. Everybody who played at least 9 games put up at least a point, and it seems like when you guys just all season long, you guys finished first in the league, and then you guys continued the play that you guys had in the playoffs. Just you think that was the story of this team that whole season was just everybody always coming to work every game, day in and day out.
Yeah, for sure. We really wanted to win, and we had such a great group of girls, and we always worked as hard as we could. And like our coach always said, he expected a first place effort every night, and so that's what we tried for.
And I was gonna ask this earlier, but I didn't ask Krissy about her time with Westman at the time I wanted to ask it with the midget team. But for you guys, being able to play under Guy Williams, one of the best coaches in the MFHL, he gets so much respect from his counterparts from all the other coaches in the league. Just what makes Guy the type of coach that he is, in your guys' opinion?
Yeah, he really understands the female game really well, and he's so good with everybody on the team, and he's never satisfied with the skill level you're at. He always wants you to be getting better, and like I said, he always expects the best effort out of you, which I think is awesome and necessary.
Yeah, and he always gives you tips on how to improve and what you should do differently and stuff like that.
Yeah, and always great to have a coach that's never satisfied and a coach that always wants to, teach you new things out there too. That's awesome, awesome to hear. And definitely from what I've heard about him, he is one of those best coaches in the league. And you guys are just the team in general fortunate to have him as a coach in this year now, especially in your senior year. And moving back into the playoffs, you guys had some players that stepped up big time. Of course, you guys both put up 6 points in the playoffs, but just looking at players like Paige Hubbard, who stepped up her game, a player like Jory Hanson-Young, who stepped up her game, and of course, a rookie at the time and now senior goaltender Natalie Williamson had a playoff run for the ages in that season. Just for those players to step up like they did, was it something that you guys saw coming? Of course, Paige was a top 3 player on your team, but for a goalie like Natalie to come into the season and just have the playoff run that she did, how was it surprising to you guys at all, or did you guys kind of expect it as a group?
No, it wasn't surprising to me. Nat's always just kind of kept her cool and always done well in whatever situation she's put in. So
Yeah, yeah, she was always a calm goalie and never gets too stressed out over games and stuff. So it wasn't a surprise.
Yeah, and I had a chance to talk to her in an episode a few weeks back now, and that's one of the things that I noticed about her is she never really gets rattled out there, and for her to be where she's at now, of course, coming off winning top goalie of the year last year, having the season she is this year, it's definitely scary for the league if she gets even better this year. But um, for you guys to go out and win a championship that season, of course, you mentioned the first championship in Westman Wildcats history in terms of playing in this league. Um, playing in this league, just the ride that you guys went on, the journey that you guys went on, and to be in that last game to close it off against the Avros, just what do you remember what the feeling was like the night before, just trying to get ready for this game and get prepared for it?
I was pretty excited. All the playoffs games were really fun to play. It's just a great environment, and I was just really excited to have a chance to win it all the next day. So
Yeah, like Shaylee said, I was pretty excited, but at the same time, I was a little nervous because this was my first year going into playoffs and playing against a team that's been one of our top teams to beat. So, yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, for you, Krissy, just being a rookie in a playoff run like this, obviously there had to be nerves throughout the whole playoff run for you specifically. Just how did you feel like you dealt with those nerves throughout that playoff run?
Before games, I always tried to focus up and not think about it as a playoff game. I just would think about it as a normal game and just play how I normally play.
Awesome, man. It definitely translated out there because even though you guys didn't put up top points for your team in the playoffs, you guys were definitely key parts of your guys' success out there in the playoffs in that season. And like you mentioned before, Krissy, just going up against the Winnipeg Avros, a team that's established themselves as a championship contender year in and year out over the years. Just ever since they came into the league, just for you guys to be able to beat that team, a team that was pretty good in the season too. Of course, you guys had the number one seed, but that team was, I believe, in the top three that season. For you guys to be able to finish the job off against them in 3 games and lift the trophy in front of them, just how did that feel for you guys? Just knowing that you got the job done against the Avers.
Yeah, it was a bit of a relief. Also, I was a little sad that it was over. I'd really enjoyed the playoffs environment, but I was really happy to have won and got to get the trophy and have that experience.
Yeah, it was really exciting, and it was sad that our season was over, but it was such a relief, and I was glad to finally be finished with playoffs and not have so much stress.
Do you guys remember the exact feeling when that buzzer went? I'm assuming you guys went crazy knowing that you guys were league champions.
Yeah, it was definitely very exciting, very happy.
Yeah, it happened all really fast, and it was so exciting.
In a blink of an eye, and it was over. You guys, MFHL League Championships, just a moment that I'm sure you guys will never forget. And you guys ended up going to play in the ESO Cup qualifier. You guys didn't end up making it to the ESO Cup, but just talk about what that experience was like, knowing that, you still had some hockey left to be played in that season.
Yeah, I was looking forward to going, knowing that our season wasn't quite over yet. And once we got there, it was an awesome experience. It was awesome setup, and it's really fun team to play. They were really good, and it was good hockey.
Yeah, they were a faster pace, so we had to think quicker, and we learned from it, which is good.
Yeah, and that was, I'm forgetting off the top of my head. I didn't write it down. The Saskatoon Stars, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, you guys got to play a great team. Didn't get the result you wanted, but at that point, it was just would have been the icing on the cake if you guys were able to qualify. And even though you didn't, it was a great experience for you guys for sure to be able to play a team like Saskatoon for sure. So moving into the season that you guys had last year, you guys ended up losing players like Paige Hubbard. You guys didn't have Ali O'Hara, and you guys also lost one of your defensemen. I forgot her first name, but O'Toole as well. So just dealing with losing those players, knowing that you wouldn't have them, just how did you guys feel that you needed to fill in and fill those shoes, or try to at least at the start of that season, just throughout the season?
Yeah, it's something that happens every year, and it really sucks. And playing with them was awesome. They're all wonderful players, and it was fun to play with them. But we just had to kind of pick up our game and try to fill those shoes as best as we could.
Yeah, we had to help our rookies out whenever they needed it, and just filled their shoes in, like Shaylee said.
And it was the first year you wore an A with Westman in that season, Shaylee. Just what was it like taking on that responsibility?
Yeah, it was a really big honor for sure. We had a great group of leadership. We all worked well together, but we also relied on the other girls as well. They were all leaders on the team, and we all kind of shared that part.
And you had a year under your belt in the league at that point, Krissy. How did it feel to take on more of a leadership role, even though you weren't wearing an A?
It was different. I liked it, and I liked helping out our new teammates, and yeah.
Yeah, and for you, and did you guys play on the same line that season, or were the lines shifted? Were you guys off the line?
The lines kind of bounced around all season a little bit, but we were on the line for a little bit.
Nice. And yeah, just how is that like, just having those lines bounce around? Obviously, there's always going to be times like that sometimes when, of course, your coach is looking to find different combinations out there. There could have been some injuries out there as well, but what was that like getting to play with all these different girls on your team last year, like on the same lines together?
It was a bit of a new experience with each line and getting to play with new players, learn how they play, and it was good.
Yeah, you got to see how you worked with other players and yeah, like see how they work on the ice and stuff. So he was good.
And for you, Krissy, you decreased in points, only put up 6 points last season. And I know that that must have been a bit frustrating for you, but just how do you deal with just the time last season of not being able to find the net like you did in your first season?
I try and focus more and pay more attention to my game and how I can play and not try and hesitate, which I did do quite a bit, but that's what I would try and focus on.
And you would say that learning not to hesitate, things like that, learning to work through the struggles too, maybe were the biggest things that you took away from your second year as a Wildcat.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, I started to hesitate more, which kind of made me not play as good. So
Just could you there have to be other parts in your game that improved though, other than putting up points and stuff like that. Could you speak about maybe some other parts in your game that you found improved last season?
I thought my positional play improved a little bit more. I started to not be so scared of the defense on the wall and started to pick my head up a little more.
And you, Shaylee, you didn't put up the same amount of points as you did the season before, but you still were able to put up uh, 17 points last season. And just for you to be able to do that when you lost players like Hubbard and O'Hara and O'Toole, just how did that make your confidence really, how did that benefit your confidence last year?
Yeah, it was good to know that I was capable of doing that and that I had the ability to put the puck in the net and help out, other players by, passing and having them score and being able to play with other players is really nice too.
Yeah, and you finished tied second in points on your team, tied second in goals, and tied third in assists in that season. And just for you to be able to do that, just you talked about like the confidence and stuff, but what do you think really got better in your game overall in that season?
I think actually, as Krishy said, my positioning felt just more natural and my defensive zone coverage, I felt a little bit more confident in that.
Nice, nice. And just you guys ended up making it to the semifinals. You guys ended up finishing fourth in the league that season. So a bit of a drop off. You guys started off a bit slow, but you guys got better as the season went along. Of course, you guys had the best goaltender in the league, named the best goaltender in the league, and Natalie Williamson. But you guys weren't quite able to get it done against the Winnipeg Avers team, a team that was hungry coming in, a team that was extra prepared for you guys this time around. I know that Ashley Van Aglen said that in the past to me when I talked to her, but just for you guys to go out the in the round that you did, I'm sure that was disappointing, but just was it, a positive for you guys knowing that you guys made it that as far as you guys did after winning the championship the season prior?
Yeah, it was an accomplishment for sure to make it as far as we did, and things didn't go our way that time, and we didn't win that series, but we still made it a good ways, and so we should be proud of that.
Yeah, like Shaylee said, it was a accomplishment, and yeah, we worked hard to where we got to, but it just things didn't go our way.
And you ended up having a great playoff for yourself, Shaylee. You put up 7 points in 9 games played. You were tied for first in points on your team, first in goals, third in assists. And it seems like every year throughout the playoffs, you keep improving and improving. So why would you say that you've improved, each year in the playoffs?
I think I just want it more every year. I wanna win again. I wanna try to make it to ESO and continue the season.
And after that season, knowing that you guys, you know, weren't able to get it done, but looking into the next year, how motivated were you guys coming into this year with just all the off-season work that you guys did do coming in?
Me personally, I was pretty motivated the last year, and I really wanted to do well. And we have a really good group of girls that I think that are capable of doing really well this year.
Yeah, I was also really motivated and trained really hard over the summer and the off season, and I thought that yeah, we had a great group of girls also, and I thought we were gonna do good.
Well, we're gonna talk about this season in just a moment. I mean, 5 games that you guys have played so far this season. I'll be right back with you see their names now, Krissy Rink and Shaylee, her last name Scraba here on Amateur Sports TV. We're gonna go to our final commercial break on the show. I'll be right back. I'm your host, Graeme Forsyth. We'll be right back in just a moment, but first, word from our sponsor. Back here for this final part of this edition of MFHL Season Coverage on Amateur Sports TV. Back from the break here with Krissy Rink and Shaylee Scraba, 2 assistant captains on this year's Westman Wildcats team. They're 2 seniors. They've committed to university, their respective universities. Of course, Shaylee committing to University of Regina and Krissy committing to Minot University for the 2021 fall. The 2021-2022 season starting in fall of 2021. And now we're going to move into this year in this final part of the interview. And for you, Krissy, you're wearing an A along with Shaylee this season. Just what was that like being named to be having a letter this season on this team?
It was such an honor to be having a letter, and I just felt that I had a bigger role now on the team, and everyone that is a senior is also a role on this team, but it just wearing an A was different and an honor. So
Yeah. And I forget, who are the other captains on the team?
Jory Hansen Young's the captain, and Charlie Lindbergh is the other A.
So what's it been like being able to wear letters along with Charlie, Jory, as well as Shaylee this season?
It's an honor to wear it with them.
Awesome. And yeah, you're having a bounce back year for yourself here, Krissy. 4 points in the games that you've played so far this season, already 2 points shy of matching your season total last year. Just what do you think might be the things that have made you be able to have this bounce back here this season?
Well, I worked really hard in the off season and pushed really hard, and I felt that I'm more aggressive this year, and I'm not as hesitant as I was last year. And my line mates right now are helping me out a lot to make plays and stuff. So it's been good so far.
Great. And for you, Shaylee, you're 1 point behind her with 3 points so far this season. And of course, both of you guys in your senior seasons, you feel like with the maturity that you have this year, the roles that you guys are being asked to play this year, that it's it's something that's really been able to benefit you guys in having the type of seasons that you have this year.
Yeah, being a grade 12 and expected to fill a bit of a higher role, it kind of gives me a little bit more confidence in my game.
And you guys lost your captain, Jory Hansen Young, after that game against the Winnipeg Ice. Hopefully she's back with you when the season starts up again, just what has it been like missing her from the lineup this season? Because she's been such a key part in your just team success throughout these years that you guys have played here in Westman.
Yeah, it's a big loss for us. She does a great job on the blue line, and she's a great player. And so it's pretty hard to fill her role, but everybody's been stepping up and playing their part, and we've been doing pretty well.
Yeah, and two of those players that have stepped up this year are Jensen Shearer and Riley Martin, who are tied with Krissy for the team lead in points with four. Just for you two, what have you seen that's been able to let their game be so good this season?
Yeah, Riley is very fast. That really helped her game, and I think she got even faster over the break, and it's really helped her. And she can get anywhere on the ice pretty quick, and yeah.
Yeah, Riley's speed's a really good aspect, and Jenny's been being more aggressive and keeping her head up to make plays, and that really helps her out.
You guys are 3-2 so far this season. You guys had a loss in your second game of the season against the Winnipeg Ice. You guys lost to the Central Plains Capitals as well. But you guys are still 3-2, sitting in fourth place. And there's always going to be areas in your game, especially at the start of the season, for the amount of games that you guys have played this year, especially with no exhibition games that you guys would usually have before. Taking on that regular season schedule, just for the amount of time that you guys had to play in the league this year. What are some of the things that, first off, that you guys liked from the team overall?
In the dressing room, it's great. We have a great group, and the atmosphere in the dressing room is really great, and I think that reflects onto the bench and onto the ice.
Yeah, and everyone works their hardest every practice and every game, so it just helps us out more.
And there's 13 returning players on this year's team, and there's some rookies on the team this season. How have you guys felt in the time that you guys were with these rookies and just the team in general that you guys bonded?
Yeah, we haven't had our usual tournaments, which is usually a big bonding factor, but we've bonded a lot and got to know the rookies, and they're all really great players, great people. So I'm excited to play with them more this season.
Yeah, we've gotten to know the rookies pretty well with not having all those tournaments. So yeah, and I'm excited to keep playing with them for the rest of the year.
Is there one rookie in particular that you guys have been impressed with this season, or is it just all the rookies in general?
All the rookies in general are really good players. Like I'm looking forward to seeing how they are in the next couple of years as well, and see how they grow.
Yeah, they all adapted to the fast play pretty quickly, so I'm excited to see them too.
Great to see, great to see. And like you said, Shaylee, it's going to be exciting to see where, it takes them in the next, years that they play here for Westman at this level. And, there's been some struggles this season, obviously, with those two losses. But can you guys talk about the struggles, the things that you guys need to clean up when the league does resume its play?
We were working on our defensive coverage quite a bit at practice. We are kind of learning a little bit of new stuff in there. So I'm assuming we're going to be practicing that a little bit more, clean that up.
Yeah, and our forecheck will probably be working on that more and cleaning that up a bit more.
Hearing the season being suspended, especially for you guys in your guys' senior seasons, along with the other seniors on this team, just what was that feeling like?
It's really unfortunate, it's a grade 12 year and our last season. I was really looking forward to playing one last year with all these girls, but hopefully we'll get back at it soon.
Yeah, it's sad not being able to play right now and having most of our season canceled, but yeah, I'm hoping that we do get to go back on the ice and finish the season.
And during this time, the team workouts you guys have been doing have been great. Of course, being able to stay in touch is great, especially in a time like this. But for you guys individually, what have you guys been working on off the ice so far? away from the team during this break?
Yeah, I've been trying to get stronger, build some muscle, but I've also been trying to work on my explosiveness and trying to do some exercise with that.
I'm trying to also work on gaining muscle and getting faster and stuff. And I'm also working on my shooting and stick handling more.
And that's going to do it for today's edition of Coffee with Graham's MFHL season coverage on ASTV. I've been your host, Graeme Forsyth. Special thanks to Shaylee Scraba and Krissy Rink for joining me in this week's edition of the show. Special thanks to you, the viewer, for tuning in to today's episode. And also a special thanks to the sponsors of today's episode in Pure Nata, Fabricland, Winkler, Toby Hockey, and Case Financial Group. I'll be back with you guys on the network on Tuesday at 10:30 a.m. to bring you guys some more stories from around the Saskatchewan Female AAA Hockey League. Might be talking to a player, a coach, maybe a GM, or maybe even the league president. Haven't figured that out yet, but you guys are going to know soon enough. Be sure to follow us on our Instagram at amateursports.tv for that. You can also check us out on Twitter and Facebook at Amateur Sports TV for all the updates of stuff like guest reveals, when our shows are coming out, stuff like that. And also be sure to catch all of our other great shows here on the network on YouTube, Facebook. I think Periscope now, I've been having trouble uploading to there, but I know that there's some other shows on the network that are on Periscope, so be sure to check those all out on Amateur Sports TV on that platform, or you can simply visit our website and check them out at amateursports.tv. So I'm going to sign off now. Once again, I've been your host, Graeme Forsyth of Coffee with Graham's MFHL season coverage. I'll see you on Tuesday morning at 10:30 a.m., folks. Stay safe out there. Have a good one. I'll see you later.